You know that feeling, right? You're on a plane and it's just this constant roaring drone of the engines. Then you pop on a pair of noise-canceling headphones, you flick that switch and poof, silence. The entire world just melts away. It honestly feels like magic.
So, how does that actually happen? How can a tiny little device create this perfect bubble of silence right in the middle of all that chaos? Well, let's get into it, because the answer is one of the coolest, most clever tricks in all of modern engineering.
Because the secret here isn't magic at all. Nope. It's a really amazing application of physics and some very, very clever math. Okay, let's start with a big idea, the central paradox of this whole thing, creating what seems like an impossible silence. Now, your first instinct, and it's a totally logical one, is that these headphones are just really, really good earplugs, that they're physically blocking the sound from getting in. And yeah, that's part of it for sure, but the real secret is so much weirder. To get rid of that engine noise, your headphones are actually creating more sound and pumping it straight into your ear canal. I'm serious, they add noise to create silence. How is that even possible? Well, let's break it down. This whole concept, it really hinges on this incredible idea of fighting noise with its exact opposite, something we call anti-noise. It's not a defense, it's an active attack. So first, let's talk about this simple method. This is passive noise cancellation. Just think of it like building a wall. The foam padding on your headphones, a simple pair of earplugs, they just physically get in the way of sound waves. It's brute force. It works okay, but it's not what creates that deep, immersive silence. Okay, this is where it gets brilliant. Active noise cancellation, or ANC, doesn't just block the sound. It actively listens to it, it analyzes it, and then it generates a brand new sound wave, the anti-noise, specifically designed to completely erase the first one. So how can one sound wave possibly destroy another? Well, this takes us to the core physics principle that makes it all work. It's the science of interference. To get this, we just have to remember what sound really is. It's just a pressure wave moving through the air. And, just like a wave on the ocean, it has high points, we call those peaks, and it has low points, which we call troughs. And this slide just lays it out perfectly. So on the left, you've got the noise wave from that jet engine. Let's pretend its peak has a value of, say, +1. Your headphones then create an anti-noise wave, which is a perfect mirror image. So where the noise has a peak, the anti-noise has a trough, a value of -1. And here is the absolute key. When you smash these two perfectly opposite waves into each other at the exact same time, they don't get louder. They just annihilate each other. This amazing phenomenon has a name. It's called destructive interference. And here's the final equation. You take your +1 from the noise, you add the -1 from the anti-noise, and what do you get? 0. And when you have 0 change in air pressure, you get silence. You have mathematically deleted a sound from existence. So that's the theory, and it's pretty mind-bending. But how in the world does a pair of headphones pull off this insane physics trick in real time? Let's take a look under the hood. It's this incredible 3-step dance that's happening thousands of times every single second. So, step 1, a tiny microphone on the outside of your headphone hears that engine noise. Step 2, that sound gets zapped to a little processor chip that instantly calculates the perfect anti-wave. And finally, step 3, the speaker inside your ear cup plays that anti-wave, timing it perfectly to meet the original sound right at your eardrum. And I cannot stress this enough. The timing has to be flawless. We're talking about microseconds. If that anti-wave is just a fraction of a second too late, it won't cancel the noise. It'll actually do the opposite. It'll combine with it and make everything sound even louder and weirder. The precision required is just staggering. So this leads to a question that I'm sure you've already thought of. If this tech is so amazing, why can you still hear the person next to you talking, or a flight attendant asking if you want a drink? Well, the answer really comes down to the shape of the sound waves themselves. Low-frequency sounds, think engine hums, the whir of a fan, they have these long, slow, very predictable waves. They're super easy for the chip to predict and cancel out. But high-frequency sounds like human speech or a baby crying, they're fast, chaotic, totally erratic. The poor little chip just can't keep up. Think of it like this. By the time the microphone hears a sudden, sharp sound, like a yell, and the processor manages to create the perfect anti-wave for it, the original yell is already gone. The tech is incredibly fast, but it's not fast enough to catch those complex, sudden noises in real time. So the next time you slip on those headphones and the world just fades away into that beautiful silence, remember this. You aren't actually listening to nothing. You are listening to the silent result of a tiny, invisible war between two sound waves, a battle where they destroy each other, all for your peace and comfort. Pretty cool, right? Which leaves us with one last curious question. Some people say that when they use noise-canceling headphones, they get this strange feeling of pressure in their ears, even when it's totally quiet. Now that you know what's really going on in there, that invisible war, why do you think that is? It's a fascinating little side effect of the battle being waged right inside your ears.